Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Pearson Podcast, episode 24, I believe it is. I hope everybody is doing absolutely fantastic and everything is going great in your life. If not, I believe everything happens for a reason. I know for some reason some people get offended by that, but that's just the way I look at it. So, quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about today in this episode is an update on the previous episode, which was titled I Got a Job or something like that. Obviously, by the title of this episode, you know I quit that job. What doing that job made me realize as far as the future, becoming self-employed, what I'm going to be doing, offering what my services are basically. Talking about the new intro I'm making, and talking about the new goals that I've been talking about in the last couple of weeks. So, starting right off to it, I apologize as always if you guys hear any background noise. But so yes, I got hired at a local food co-op, and on the outside, job seemed perfect in every way. The people were nice, the pay was decent, the hours were great. Everything was great. It really was. Now, there are two killers to this job, and absolute killers they were. Nothing that could have brought any sort of, well, is this the right idea, quitting, blah, blah, blah. No. Killers. One was my back. If you guys don't know, most of you don't, I was in a car accident, I don't know, 4 or so years ago, and my back and neck just got really messed up and never really have been the same since then. So basically what the job was, I'm not going to get crazy into it, but it was a lot of standing in one spot and looking down and, prepping and assembling and stuff like that. So just standing and looking down. And basically all that combined, it was too much. And, weirdly, so I did 2 days there. And the third day, I started realizing and I don't know about this timeline. I already have moved on from this, so I don't know if the timeline is accurate. But the second or third day, I started feeling really sick. And then when I got home, and I'm like, all right, whatever. I'm just going to go take Tylenol and fight through it. And I took Tylenol, and it was great. So basically, when and then basically, long story short, I got home after a long day, and as soon as I stepped out of the car when I got home, it all crashed down. My back was killing me. I was arched, and I literally felt like a stereotypical old guy where he's got a hunchback and he's slow and blah blah blah, and 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 then I walked into my room or the house, and chills washed over me, and basically felt like crazy sick for a day. So the next day, called out of work just because I was crazy sick, and um, and basically, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that was just my body was so exhausted that it made me sick, or it was the first time that I was with people without my mask, because at that job, if you got your vaccine and could prove it, you don't have to wear a mask. And now maybe maybe it was because of that. Maybe it was because I was around all the ingredients. I really don't know. But what makes sense is my mom said, we've been wearing our masks and our immune systems have been crazy sheltered for like, almost 2 years now. So now that we're going into the regular world, and we're not using masks anymore, then, even a common cold could like be a shotgun blast. So that very well could have been it. But yeah, and taking that day off plus everything else kind of made me slow down and think of the job from a third person, and be like, wow, because I have a tendency to let jobs go way longer than they should and not realize how terrible it actually is, just because I put up with so much, assuming that's how it is for everyone. um, so taking that day off, I called out because I was feeling terrible. It made me re-look at everything. It's like, you know I know myself. There's no way I can die happy if I'm going to a 9 to 5, or an 8 hour job day, or just a job where it's like you work for someone else. And I mean, unless I'm like truly loving what I'm doing, but I don't see that as a possibility. Unless, I don't know, like Josiah. See, here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. Say Josiah, the guy that I do the Meat Locker podcast with. Say Beamer Empire is his business blows up, and he needs to hire me as a employee, which he already has done. So he's gotten to that point, but I just turned it down just because whatever. But say it's like huge, where he has like an in-person building, and this is my best friend, this is like one of my absolute best friends, and say he needs me to come on, just package orders, or some crap like that, even though I'm working with my friend doing a business. Even that, like, I would do that probably, but even that, it doesn't work for me long term, and I need to figure out what's going to work for me for the rest of my life. I just do. Now, I have these skills. I have a specific set of skills. Now, I am incredibly responsible, respectful. I'm a good, I'm easily talked to socially. I am very good technically with technical stuff. I am obviously good at film, graphic design, photography. I'm also good at landscaping. Blah blah blah. And there's also things I just need to. What I want to do, two things, is I want to figure out. I don't know. There's so many things in my head blending together. The overall topic of what I'm talking about right now is taking the first steps into becoming fully self-employed. Now, the second thing is I need to think about all the things that I offer. Just think of everything and be real creative about it. Think of something that maybe people never even thought about. Like, something I thought about is securing people's accounts, because a lot of these older people, they have like Apple 123 as their password, and how to avoid getting scammed, and and all of this jazz. That's, that's one thing. Um, Basically, I just gotta come up with a bunch of stuff, really solid stuff. And then the third thing is I need to get all that stuff onto one flyer, have like a general pricing maybe, and basically just go door to door. I mean, leaving flyers around. I don't even have to knock. I can just leave the flyer there, and yeah, um, there's a lot of people in my town, and if I just go door to door, I mean, heck, I feel like I would be able to get a lot of business just from doing that. And once I get a rapport with some customers, like I've done on Pearson Visuals, I've got some customers that have been coming to me for, ever since I started, which would be 2007. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, like 5 years now. This is my 5th year of doing it. It's slowed down quite a bit because I've got so much other crap going on that I just need to get back into the flow of it. And if you don't know, Pearson Visuals on Instagram, where I upload all of my art. Yeah, Facebook ads, I don't know, stuff like that. And yeah, so basically, yeah, just trying to nail down becoming self-employed. It's not like I have to pick one or the other, as in having a steady income. Well, steady, having a good amount of income, and self-employed. Like, I can get a good, even, a heck of a lot more than a 9 to 5 job, minimum wage 9 to 5 job from doing this stuff I do. It's just the process of getting myself out there and getting into my flow. Now, another thing that is going to be supplementing my pay until I get those things flowing is, one, I am homeschooling my little brother, and two, I am reselling things for my parents. Basically, long story short, they're huge antique collectors, and they go to yard sales, and they know all about basically what to buy and what has value. But now they both have jobs, and they just don't have time to sell it themselves. So they just grab all this stuff, and that's the fun part. That's what they like doing. They like going to garage sales, and they like buying stuff that they know they can flip. But now they're just stuck with all this valuable stuff that they just don't have time to sell. So where I come in is I sell the crap, basically. Long story short, I sell, and right now I'm crazy backed up, because they have so much stuff, over the years that they've stockpiled and haven't had a chance to sell. But yeah, they are. I'm excited for it because, say it's half. I think half is decently fair, but it also depends on how much they paid in order to get it. You know what I mean? So the paying thing is something we'll have to work out, because it's hard work. That's for sure. It is hard work. Now, yeah, basically, as far as the self-employment thing goes, that's about it. And what I've been realizing is, with this podcast right now, money is on my mind, and it's kind of hard for me to just relax. Now, in the next, once I get in the flow of things and money is, not so much on my mind, that then I will start getting into random goofs. But, I feel like each episode is just me talking about, how I'm going to get money and blah, blah, blahs. And I don't want it to be like that. It is the reality right now, though. I'm currently just trying to survive. And that's the current situation. So basically, let's get off all that jazz, and let's get into. So I'm making an intro for this podcast, and the intro that I created. I've made so many intros so far. I think I've made 3, and this is gonna be my 4th one. And I always rush it. They keep getting better and better, but I always rush it. And I need to really brainstorm and think, what would be a good intro? What all does it have to have? What is the mood I want to encompass? And I think I've got most of those, but I just am so eager to create that I basically just start creating instantly. So I have a decent, it's not a bad intro, that's for sure, but it's not perfect, I don't think. Obviously, I'm gonna have to render it later tonight, when I go to sleep, and it's long, so it probably won't even be done overnight. Probably won't even get halfway done, sadly. But that is, I know I want to have it in nature. I know I want to have it kind of look like a movie intro where it's like, like Paramount, where it's Paramount or Disney, where it's like gliding over a meadow and then exposes a grand landscape and it looks great, and then the title sequence, blah, 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 something along those lines. But I don't want to make it, I want to make it unique and creative. So I'm almost positive this one that I have isn't going to be the long-term one. But gotta give it a shot anyways. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Now here's the thing about the goals. I'm gonna talk about implementing my goals, and then I'm gonna get into the books I'm reading, just in case anybody's interested. So these goals that I've been making the past, 3-4 podcasts on, I have implemented some of them, but not enough to even say some of them. So it's like the kind of hole that I'm in right now is saying time to start. Now, today's Sunday. I think it's a good day just to be like, now I start. Tomorrow is Monday, fresh new week, starting tomorrow. The thing that kills me is when I wake up, I get coffee. And coffee is so nice in the morning that it's hard to kick that. And once I haven't kicked that, it's like, oh, okay, well, I already had coffee. I might as well blah, 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 blah. And then it goes on. I need to figure out something else other than coffee, like me, whether it's tea or I really don't know, but just something. I think I just need something nice and a warm drink in the morning, a warm drink that's healthy. And I do love tea, that's for sure. I do love tea, so maybe it's tea, and maybe I can just get to the point where I don't need anything. But yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys right now, and I would never lie to you guys. I am going to start tomorrow in the morning. And I pray I don't forget. Wake up in the morning, basically like clockwork, go down and get the coffee, and I'm like, oh, I am going to really try. Tomorrow's going to be the first day I'm going to start listening things from my parents. Probably going to work out or do yoga, get the self-employment thing going, work on the intro. But yeah, I basically, I just need to start, because once I start, the process of doing my goals, I won't stop. That's what's kind of held strong with me, within my lifetime, is like I'll just go hard and even harder and even harder and harder and harder, because I know I'm getting close to stopping. And then once I stop, it's done. So, and I know that's not a healthy way to do it. A lot of people would say to slow down. I just realized. Whatever. I was gonna say I'm going on a trip to Eastern Washington. I go on Tuesday, but it's a trip. You splurge on trips, so I'm not gonna trip about that. I'm not gonna trip out about the trip. I'm gonna just go ham on the trip. So yeah, forgot what I was saying, but oh yeah, I know, like, say for coffee as a example, I know in order to stop coffee, I could be like, all right, 10 ounces today, 9 ounces tomorrow, 8 ounces the next day, blah, 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 until I get the ding dong 1 ounce, and then I'm done. I don't have the patience for that. Simple as that. I do not have the patience for it. Patience is an ability that I am trying to gain higher points on, just because it's like I've just got such low patience a lot of the time. And I think I've got relatively decent patience for the average person, maybe, but I just know it's not where I want it to be. So let's get into some books that I'm reading. So, A Beginner's Guide to the Universe by Mike Dooley. Mike Dooley is an amazing guy that I follow on email. I subscribe to his email list. Email. Basically, every morning he sends a nice, inspirational, really mind-opening email, and it's great. Basically, I read somewhere where it's like you can just open this book to anywhere, and it'll say kind of what you were wanting in that moment. So let's try it here. Oh, there's quotes. Let's get into quotes. All right. Not on your worst day, during your lowest ebb, nor through your most challenging circumstances will you fail to rebound to higher heights than before. Seems about perfect for me. Let me tell my mom I'll be right down. Hey, Mom, I'll be right down.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Yeah. So, Eckhart, and then the new one is A New Earth. Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. I am very excited to be reading this as well. Very exciting. Both of these my grandpa got me, and he highly suggested them. And I've already read a lot of this one, probably about halfway through The Beginner's Guide to the Universe, but still need to finish it. And haven't started the New Earth yet, but I'm very excited too. Leonard Maltin's Classic Movie Guide. It is something that just basically goes through all the classic movies and gives you a little summary of what they're about. So I know I'm going to start writing stories, films, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this is going to give me some nice inspiration. Now, I have The Hobbit in there, but I'm not sure if I'd like to watch it at some point, but I'm not sure. Now, if you give a moose a muffin, this is awesome. This is an awesome book that that my great grandma gave me, and I love it. I just have that in there. Maybe if I'm feeling down, I'll read it. The Outdoor Survival Handbook. That's always good. Has all kinds of good jazz in there. Maybe I'll go into these books like more in depth at another time, because my dinner's ready and I gotta go down. But this one, Story by Robert McKee. This is all about writing movies, writing stories, basically. And I've been reading it, and it's absolutely great. Here we are. So, the Dale Carnegie course in Effective Speaking and Human Relations. This one I'm really excited to read this one. Another one my grandparents suggested to me, and yeah, super excited to read that. This big book has a bunch of, it has 7 novels in here, like Treasure Island, Prince Odo, stuff like that. I'm eventually going to get to that. Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. If you haven't read this, do check it out. It is an amazing book, and actually some decently scary stories in here. But I remember this is the one book that I read in like 3 hours time. I think it was like 3 hours. My dad and grandpa went. We all went golfing, and they went golfing together, and we were too young to golf. So we were just going around the golf course, and I was just reading the book, and I finished the whole book before we were done golfing. That's how impactful and how interesting it was for me. And I bet most people are like, wow, you read it in one day, that's great. But for me, I have like crazy dyslexia and ADD, and can't focus on anything. So for me to be able to strictly focus on that and finish it in one day, that was huge for me personally. Plus the drawings in there are insane. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a like, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing for more podcasts every single Ding Dong Monday, and travel vlogs. Whenever I travel anywhere, I'm going to make a vlog. And I just uploaded the Eastern Washington vlog. It was my travel vlog number 2. Sorry I had to re-upload it. I had some revisions, but so that's why maybe you saw it and started watching it, and then checked and it was gone, but it's back now. And check it out if you haven't. And have a wonderful, beautiful day and the rest of your life. Peace.